Okay, thank you so very much. I can see a hand up. Oh, the hand is down now. There was a hand up before. Maybe the person got the answer needed. Now I see another hand. John Isemide.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
So the truth of the matter is that we need proper coordination. And first and foremost, we have to thank the government for stopping the Asians from taking over the business. And the issue of commodity board is not thing that Nigeria should be discussing at this point. And we can go back to history, what led to the abolition in 1986, part of the IMF conditionalities. There are things we can do at home. And with the commodity board coming up close to about 20 years ago, what structure have you built? These are some of the things we are saying that the private sector should not be at the back seat. And you can see what our president is driving concerning this project. And in seminar, in workshop, in places like this, we have the private sector at the back, and the government officials and all that are not into business dictating what we're supposed to do. At least we need to be blocks and cover the gaps. This is my own little contribution. Targets should be given to the private sector. Government officials are regulators, and they should not do things that is making us to laugh as if some of us are the worst people on earth. We can compete, we can engage any part of the world if we have the structure to do this business. Thank you.
One major thing that keeps reoccurring is about structure. And from this quote, you see, everyone has their greatness, their own greatness. Whether you reach your own greatness depends on your environment, your structure, the company you keep, and your attitude. Mr. Femi Boyede, are you ready now? You want to say something, Mr. Boyede? Mr.
Yes. I had actually wanted to latch onto what John Isemide has said, which is very, very true. And I actually don't think that we are at the level of us versus them. I think from what Dr. Yakusa tried to do, and the message he amplified last time was of an administration, his administration, that welcomes inputs and contributions from every angle. That's the reason why I was suggesting to Mr. Kutangura and his team that the earlier they sought audience and the platform to engage with the NEPC, the better, so that they can actually present the benefits of working together. I was at the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment yesterday. We're discussing the possibility of having something on agriculture in Nigeria sometime before the end of this year. And I was very, very excited to see that even at the ministry level, they are very, very excited and ready to synergize. Let me borrow Mr. Kutangura's word, to synergize with all relevant stakeholders to make sure that this happens. For us at Talking Trade, this will be our take-home value. We'll be happy that we have provided a platform where these kinds of partnerships, collaborations, and engagements take place. And of course, Nigeria remains a government-led economy. As a government-led economy, the private sector will continue to be the engine of economic growth and development, but will rely on the government to kickstart the engine. The ignition is with the government. And this is the reason why we all have to, whatever ideas we all have to find a way, even fight our way to ensure that those who need to hear and make use of our brilliant ideas, that they do get access to these ideas. Thanks very much.
Thank you so very much, Alpha Mboyede, for the contribution. I think Bukola Oke is next. I just readmitted Bukola Oke. I think it has to do with the internet connection. Okay, thank you for putting on your video and for unmuting yourself. You're on mute currently. Please unmute yourself, Bukola Oke.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, I have an issue with the internet here.
No problem. You have 1 minute.
All right. My question goes to the president, the Sierra Butters. In Oyo State here, we have more than enough share trace. We have processors. But the kind of support that they are having in Niger State, we are not leveraging it at this site. I can see the manufacturing sectors and then the industry that are springing up at that place. So my own take is this: can he help us to have such kind of leverages in the Southwest here? Thank you.
Well, incidentally, we are not talking about share today. I'm here as a commodity broker. However, I will say something. I don't know who you are relating with, because I know we have an active chapter in Oyo State. Even recently, there was training by Nigerian Export Promotion Council about 2 weeks ago. And we have some processing centers that were produced. And so I have somebody very, very active, one of our own member. She works a lot with the Women Cooperative in Oyo State. And of course, we have a large processing factory in Shagamu. So I don't know, maybe you need to do some work. However, I will link you up with our Oyo State chapter coordinator so that you can relate well with him. Thank you. You can inbox me so that we can further continue talking on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bukola Oke, for the question. And you can see part of the advantages of joining Talking Trade webinars is you're actually able to reach the person at the helm of affairs. Congratulations, you are getting answer to your challenges. The next hand I have up is Adamu Gambo. Is your video on and your hello, Adamu Gambo, are you there?
Hello, I'm with you, Lady. Hey, thank you for giving me the chance to speak.
You're welcome.
Yes, I must express my appreciation to Talking Trade for always championing the cause of non-oil export in this country. Mine is a comment on my president, Mr. Boyede. He made mention about the ministry's concern to collaborate with other agencies to promote or for the export business in this country. You see, there are two things from the government side. One, policy formulations, but where we have issues and challenges are in the implementation. And then the level of seriousness from where such concepts were developed. We were victims of so many fantastic concepts that we believe can move this country forward. Now, I always appreciate staff and management of Nigerian Export Promotion Council. You see, Mr. Ezra always mentioned about staff having a kind of business or private sector mindset. I'm a living witness to that. I've been collaborating with staff, most especially in the Northwest, and I can see the kind of agility, the kind of zeal they have in promoting export in that region. Lest you forget, Lady K, there is even an invitation that was extended to by virtue of such collaboration on an export program in Sokoto, which is coming up, I believe, on Tuesday. So that is one. And then the second is to Kontagora. Yes, the idea of this commodity is a very nice one, but I always told us there is a particular layer in that value chain that we need to harness or to incorporate whatever it takes, or however we are going to design the architecture of that. I remember vividly the Abuja Commodity Exchange that is in Kano here. I sat down one time with the MD, I discussed with him, look, if we want to make any progress, we must consider who are the major players in that space. And then the major players in that space, they have a kind of entirely different mindset from what the concept of that commodity is all about. And then there is no deliberate effort or design to bring them on board or to integrate with them. It was then I suggested to him, we went and met the major players in Dawano. We sat down with them. We said, look, we need to drop down from the altitude of our high-level English and come down and see how are we going to get this thing, these major players to understand this concept and get them and onboard them. So, Kontagora, I think, what are we doing towards that? Because that is one of the major success factors that I believe we could be able to integrate. Then, obviously, commodity exchange is going to improve tremendously. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Please, we have 2 other hands up. We have 1 minute each. This hand I see says Galaxy Tab. Can you please identify yourself? Tell us your name, where you are calling from. Unmute yourself. You are currently muted. Galaxy Tab. That is what I see. I don't see your name.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Am I not allowed to speak now?
Please, you are allowed to speak. Please, can you identify yourself?
Okay. My name is Shehu Ibrahim from Kano.
Thank you. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm very sorry I joined the.
We're only seeing your cap.
Very late. Yes. And
I
appreciate the discussion very well. And I want to talk specifically on trading in commodities, especially exports through the commodity exchange. This is a very important topic, and it's a topic that I am really interested in. But my concern is that though I have joined the meeting lately, I've not heard what the presenter have said about how this export trade can take place through the exchange. But my expectation is that I want to see a situation whereby the conventional trading that is taking place in Doha is transformed in such a way that this export trade is taking place through the exchange. But how is it going to take place through the exchange? I didn't hear what the presenter have said, but my expectation is that for a trading to happen through the exchange, the commodity have to be in a warehouse where it has been assayed, graded, and all the qualities and requirements for any exporter is there. But in the current situation, you know, the warehousing infrastructure is not available. The assaying and the rest of it are not available. So I expect that the organizers of this kind of commodity trading ecosystem should seek the support of the government, whereby this kind of trade takes place through the exchange, but a provision has to be made for the warehousing infrastructure and the legal and operating framework, especially the instruments for the trading and the rest of it. So I have expected to hear more on how this trading can take place through the exchange. As a commodity broker who is a member of the Commodity Brokers Association, and I also learned that the presenter is also a member of the Commodity Brokers Association. I had also expected that he should be prominent in participating in the activities of the Commodity Brokers Association, so that all these things that we're talking about now comes into fruition, because we have exchanges now, but the operating framework, the legal framework, the operating framework, the warehousing infrastructure, the instruments are not yet available for smooth trading through the exchange. So that's my take. Yes, that's my take, and I want to hear the comments of the presenter and the contributors on this issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Madam Elizabeth Nwaku, you are next. Please.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. Nice to see you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Boyede. Thank you, everyone on the panel. Thank you, my president, Mr. Kontagora. It's an honor to be on the platform. And Mr. Ora, this is Elizabeth from Ibadan. Yes, please. I just want us to look at commodities in terms of post-harvest management and storage. If we can handle that bit very well, it will help whatever we are using the commodity for, either for production or for export directly. In the case of shell kernel, when the women finish the fruit to kernel, they are forced to sell to Benin Republic because they need their money immediately. They need their money immediately. But if we have an arrangement where we buy off those seeds from them at that moment on a daily basis and we warehouse it, that will give us a better position in the share industry. Also, in other commodity as well, there are lots of silos in the nation owned by the federal government lying fallow that we could
Yeah.
make use of as storage, and at the end of the day we could have the post-harvest properly managed so that there is no moisture that will lead to aflatoxin or things that could lead to disqualification of our products when they go outside. That's the little I want to contribute. Good afternoon, everyone.
Can I go ahead? Well, I don't want to be accused
Yes.
for promoting share on this platform that we are tracking commodity excellence. However, I'm happy when the last speaker mentioned about the challenges associated with shea butter. It's not only about shea butter. It's not, these challenges are not synonymous with shea butter. It's virtually all our commodities. The issue is we need basic infrastructure at the grassroots. It is very, very important. A woman will trek long distance to the bush, pick the nut, transport it on her head. By the time she comes to her hamlet, she doesn't have storage facility to store it. So when she parboil, when she wants to parboil, start processing, she parboil, she's on dry, she do husk, and then she quickly sell it. She has to because she doesn't have the basic infrastructure. She doesn't have the storage facility. So every commodity needs basic infrastructure. We need a basic. The difference between us and Ghana is that every producing community where you have that they have this basic infrastructure. So the government, as a matter of policy, especially development financial institution, must do a deliberate policy such that we are not saying that government should be giving us grant. No, let's treat these activities as a business. Let's because market-driven approach. There is market demand for all these our commodities. So give us such a facility, a long-term facility, a single-digit rate, so that the women have a basic infrastructure in their communities, and then they will continue to be producing while we are linking them up with the market. So it's the same thing. Now, the last speaker, even though we have talked a lot on the operation of commodity exchange, again, he talks about the warehouse. It is the same issue. I want him to, luckily he's in Kano State, he's in Adwana. I will advise him to go to Gezawa Commodity and say commodity exchange. He will see a proper setting for trading of commodity exchange. It has everything needed. All it needs is the backward integration with the farmers and what have you. So we need that structure so that they will continue to be feeding those commodity exchange. Actually, Lagos have one. We have Nigerian Commodity Exchange. So we have so many, and that will come out very soon. But I will also advise the government that the regulatory bodies should set a target, should set a sort of guideline. For you to have a commodity exchange, you must have ABCD. And then those people within the ecosystem of the commodity exchange or the trading must also be given a sort of facility that will actualize the trading of this commodity through the commodity exchange. Once again, of course, the silos. We know that there are a lot of silos scattered around. The last time I checked, most of those commodity silos were given out to other persons. I don't know how the federal government does that, but I knew that through Federal Minister of Agri, they've given out most of those silos. So to whom are they given? How can they be used for the trading of the commodity at the commodity exchange? Very important. We should be able to define that. Thank you.
Okay. Can I jump in quickly, please? This is Roland Oro here.
Okay. 2 minutes is okay?
Yes, 2 minutes is okay.
Thank you.
I
And
mean,
your camera.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I mean, a lot has been said, and I don't want us to lose the key points here. And I'd like to emphasize one very important point. And in fact, my colleague here, Chris, we were talking about it. Mr. Boyede, I think one of the key takeaways from this conversation today is that, look, there need to be a communication to the government to strengthen the middle point, which is the brokers. That point is the missing link right now. That's where we have the breakdown. And if there's anything we can take away from this effort today, is to make a very clear communication to Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Trade and Investment to work with relevant agencies and government, the CBN and the Sovereign Wealth Investment Authority. How can we capacitate the brokers so that they can play the role of extension provision? They provide extension support to farmers to strengthen our production. At the same time, they can aggregate and put in warehouse the products that we want to trade on the commodity exchange. And then the commodity exchange can work with them, to have these products traded on the floor of the exchange, and buyers can come to the floor to get this product. So going forward, we think that there should be a policy program to really support the brokers, or if you like, aggregators, by way of requesting for, or by way of incentivizing very capable private sector entities to come and invest in that segment, so that they can play the role of providing organizing farmers into clusters, providing them extension support, and making sure they have access to critical inputs, and then once the production is done, they can aggregate it, put it in the warehouse. They can also implement the warehouse receipt systems, so that there's enough liquidity for the farmers.
Thank you.
And that becomes a channel for attracting additional funds into primary production. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I'm going to allow the remaining 2 people to speak consecutively now, and then we have the final comments. We are rounding up soon, so sit tight. Thank you, everybody. Ogbodo Okechukwu, unmute yourself, please. And you have 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Sorry, I've been on and off. I'm having an internet issue here. Please, I want to ask, please, to the commodity man, Mr. Ahmed Kontagora, is there any of these such projects in the Southeast at all? Because if there is, it will help most of us that want or prospective commodity buyers to, it will help us not to be having this risk of going to the north to get our products or something. Is there any of such product around Southeast? If there is, please, can you let us know? Thank you.
Thank you so very much for making it very brief. It's going to answer you with this last question. Ibrahim Maliki, I see your hand up. Ibrahim Maliki. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Is your video on? If it's on,
yes, let me check.
If it's on, that would be wonderful. If not,
yes, I think it's on.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank the speaker. He's an encyclopedia of the commodity ecosystem and his team. The team has done very well. I just want to add that from what the team suggested now, I think the key point we should take home here is that the commodity broker should be strengthened. And in addition, while the speaker was speaking, he told us that in Ethiopia, why they succeeded was that the government had the policy that if you have more than 5 tons, the farmers, they take it to the exchange. If that is implemented too in Nigeria, it will really help. Like the Dawanu market and other international market, people just go and buy. But if you have those that have more than 5 tons, they will go to the exchange. The Geza Commodity Exchange is an international commodity exchange, but it's not been used, even the Nigerian Commodity Exchange. So it's a key policy issue that the team can still pursue to the NEPC and other stakeholders. Strengthen the commodity brokers and the policy statement. All farmers with more than 5 tons should go to the commodity exchange. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. So now I allow if Mr. Kutangura and the team, if they have answers to the last two speakers.
Okay, let me answer the second to the last speaker. He asked if there is any of that platform in the southeast or the southern Nigeria. Let me say it. The commodity exchange is supposed to operate virtually across the globe. What you need is a trading flow with all the necessary communication, gadget, and then with appointed agent who can trade, can buy. You can sit in the comfort of your room and buy from the commodity exchange. That's the beauty of it. That will remove all the risk of you traveling from far and near to come and buy. You can sit in your home, in your office, in your home, and then trade, buy, and then the next thing it is delivered to your place. So the system is to serve not only for Nigeria, but all about other international communities. So if the system works, I think if we're able to develop the system that is supposed to be, I think it will work for all of us. It will save a lot of all these hazardous traveling and what have you. And it will save a lot of people the risk of being on the road always. Because I can tell you, as I said earlier, in one of the commodity markets in Mariga, I saw a buyer with cash 100 million naira. He traveled from far east and far south to come to that market. And it is happening on daily basis. It's happening on daily basis. But with the advent of commodity exchange, you don't need to do that. You can see the comfort of your house, you trade, exchange, and then you pay, and then you also get delivery. Of course, it is very important. I think it's one of the discussions we had prior to now with, at the CDI, Commodity Development Initiative, is looking at the possibility of trying to see how we can support the CBAN. Commodity Brokers Association of Nigeria actually supposed to be up and doing, though it needs to be strengthened. So we are looking for to see the possibility of coming up with a way forward. So in actual fact, the CBAN is supposed to drive this industry because they are the players, they are the active players. They're supposed to tell the government, give the policy direction, and then, of course, drive the policy direction of the government on this thing. So it's a welcome development. We'll be able to do that. And then you recall in my presentation, I also talk of lack of the necessary law backing the commodity exchange. It is very important. I remember the bill on the White House Finance Scheme is still with the National Assembly for years. I wish they can pass it, which means we can easily talk, we can issue warehouse receipt and what have you. So yes, we have to continue doing that. We have to strengthen the CBAN for them to continue to drive this sector. Thank you all.